Hi, my name is Ray Liu, CEO and co-founder of Vena Vitals, where we make a small wearable device that monitors blood pressure continuously. And I'd love to share with you a demo. So what you see here is actually our device in real time capturing the continuous beat-to-beat blood pressure on a patient with all the fluctuations that can occur. We're a clinical stage company and we're backed by Y Combinator, MedTech Innovator, amongst others as well. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Joe Reinhardt, an anesthesiologist, who will introduce one of the problems that we're trying to solve with our technology.
The standard of monitoring in the operating room currently for blood pressure is a non-invasive blood pressure cuff around the upper arm. The cuff typically cycles every 3 to 5 minutes, which leaves a small window that we don't really see patient blood pressure in. And there is evidence that that window can make a difference.
So how does it work? Well, our device is a small stretchable sensor that you can place anywhere you feel your pulse. And what's happening is as your blood is flowing through your artery, it's pushing up against your arterial walls, which in turn applies pressure to your skin. And if your blood pressure goes up, it's going to squeeze our sensor harder. If your blood pressure comes down, it's going to squeeze it softer. So how well does it work? Well, we've shown in our clinical studies that we're as accurate as the invasive arterial line. And you can see here, we're tracking each and every breath, every heartbeat. Even when the incision happened in the middle, you can see the rise in blood pressure that we track. Now, what this means is really twofold. First, we can replace an invasive procedure that's still being used more than 8 million times in the US each year. That's in the US alone. But also, because of our wearable form factor and ease of use, we can actually take continuous monitoring outside the hospital to the home setting in remote monitoring and also in sleep monitoring. And just to give you a few more examples of our accuracy, this is a coronary artery bypass procedure on a patient with high BMI of 37. We're tracking the arrhythmias and all the detailed waveforms extremely well. And if we zoom out, it's similar. You can see that in a 5-hour capture, we're also tracking the arterial line through all the different bumps and motion artifacts that occur in the operating room on the operating table. And all these wild swings in blood pressure, where blood pressure surges for 80, 90 millimeters of mercury in both directions. We're capturing all of that extremely well. So as a company, we're well on our way to our 510K path. We've measured on more than 300 subjects in the operating room head-to-head against the arterial line with extremely high accuracy across different age groups, BMIs, and blood pressure ranges. I do want to spend a quick minute to talk about sleep monitoring because this is another beachhead that we're entering into. And sleep is really significant because we're the first to be able to measure blood pressure during sleep because you put a cuff on somebody where you're going to wake them up or interfere with their sleep. But what we can track is the real-time surges in blood pressure that occur because of apneic events or other sleep disorders. If I zoom out from this picture, you can see on the left, this is a healthy subject without sleep apnea. And on the right, this is the blood pressure variability profile for a subject who has been diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea. And you can see the dramatic surges that occur. That's all extra stress placed on the cardiovascular system, on the patient's heart, organs, and brain. And that's something that it's unprecedented to be able to measure. So, and I'll just show you a quick demo here as well. This is one of our sleep techs who actually was our clinical study collaborator, helping us run the study. She wanted to take the device home to be able to measure on herself. And you can see here in the middle on channel 6, that's the blood pressure waveform that she's measuring. And then in channel 2, it turns out she actually has apnea as well, and she didn't know it. But you can see channel 2, we're picking up the respiratory information, and the blood pressure waveform or the respiratory is stunted. And now she's recovered from that breath, and you can see what happens to blood pressure. It shoots up. So you can see blood pressure, that surge is exactly what I'm talking about, and it's quite significant. We're tracking these surges to be in the order of magnitude of 80, 90 millimeters of mercury. So what does it all mean in terms of our company? Well, we are first tackling 2 beachheads in the operating room and in sleep monitoring, but that's not where we'll stop. Beyond that, we'll expand to other spaces in the hospital, as well as in the home setting and ambulatory remote. And eventually, we do want to tackle the chronic condition consumer as well to provide tools for them to better monitor and manage their condition, but one step at a time. So as a company, I'll just leave you with this. Oops. I'll leave you with our fundraising and our key milestones. We've raised close to 8 million as a seed stage company, getting ready for our Series A after we hit our FDA 510(k) clearance, which we anticipate by this year to achieve for the hospital space, and then by next year for the sleep space. With that, I'll take any questions. Thank you very much.